Just enough time to make myself some dinner and get the laundry going. But in any case, what did you guys do between boxing and MMA? So right now we're still on the preliminaries, or the main card actually. Now we're waiting for Rob Font. Remember, Rob was originally going to fight Dominic Cruz, and unfortunately, Dominic dislocated his shoulder a couple of times, and it was enough to have him just uh, call it quits. Say that's enough. It's been a career, uh, and what a career it's been for Dominic Cruz. But fortunately for Rob Font, they kept him on the card. They found him another opponent who is a Japanese Brazilian fellow. As soon as we get back to the broadcast, I'll let you know what his name is. But I thought that was kind of interesting. So it's also interesting to note that there are no Japanese Americans fighting in the UFC at this moment, at least not to my knowledge, or they haven't been televised, that's for sure. Uh, Unless, of course, someone's closeted Japanese American. Just kidding. I mean, that could happen. You could be perhaps one-fourth Japanese American, and it may not be visually obvious that that's part of your heritage, and you may have a last name that's not Japanese, so who knows. In any case, my hint there is that this Japanese American would definitely do it, as long as there are other women at 105 pounds that are available to fight. In any case, right now we're on commercial break from the UFC broadcast, but did any of you guys watch Better Biev Bivol? If so, do you agree with the judges' scores? They had Bivol winning that. Now, I haven't even looked into the actual scorecards, but um, I, I, I mean, in a sense, it depends on which sort of style of boxing you favor. I tend to favor the person who's making the fight, as we say, the one who's forcing the fight. I tend to not want to give rounds to someone who's kind of moving away from the fight. Now, granted, Vival did have moments where he was able to land decent counter shots, but I just felt overall that Beterbiev really had dominated more of the fight. All right, so we're going to keep it clean. Right now, my moderator's not here, but um, all right, buddy, you're going to get yourself reported. That's fine. My opinion of Mary Kom, I don't know much about her. I know that she was, I think, a very dominant amateur fighter. Scott, how are you doing? We're watching UFC Seattle. I'm fine tonight, Tyler. How are you? Hello to Lion Zion. All right, so this guy is like, that's blatantly racist. Mm. Am I a trainer? I have trained people in boxing. Mostly right now, I'm devoted to my own training at this point. I lost you. Regarding what? We are watching UFC Seattle right now. We're between fights. Okay, so Rob Font is going to fight a fellow named, I don't know if he pronounces his first name Jean or Jean Matsumoto. So he's Japanese Brazilian. All right, Scott. We do this life. We do. Scott says we do this life once. You are awesome. Thank you so much, Scott. Really appreciate your positivity. Scott, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can join us for our lives, and also you'll get to see whenever I post a new video. All right, so we have Jean or Jean Matsumoto making his way to the cage right now. He's fighting out of Brazil. He's wearing the GSP bandana. At least it's not the Rising Sun bandana, because I always thought it was pretty tacky that um, some people are, it's okay for them to wear it, but really wouldn't be cool if a Japanese person wore it just because what that Rising Sun flag symbolized. All right, so we're here to discuss UFC, MMA. If you watched the boxing fight earlier today, we can talk about that too, but that's about the extent of the topics for conversation. All right now Matsumoto's getting um, greased up by the cut man. All right, so somebody keeps making messages that are held for review. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm has figured out um, undesirable comments. Okay, now the official's checking Matsumoto out, giving him the okay to get in the cage. All right, hopefully some of our regular folks will show up for this. I'm mostly interested in seeing the main event, of course, which is Cejudo versus Song. That'll be interesting, I think. I want to see where Henry's at this point in his career, if he's still really got that fire. Okay, now Rob Font is making his cage walk. All right, so let me know, did any of you guys watch Better Biev Bivol, and what did you think of the outcome? Michael is saying, who do I think is going to win? This next fight, I couldn't tell you. I don't know anything about Matsumoto, other than he's Japanese Brazilian, which doesn't tell you much about, doesn't tell me anything about him as a fighter. I mean, Rob Font is a, experienced, durable guy, so, and I assume that they brought Matsumoto in once Dominic Cruz fell off the card, so, I hope he had enough time to prepare, and hopefully he was already in decent shape before he put in the final prep for this fairly short notice fight. I think it's Eric. Is that Eric? I can't really read your username. Is saying yes, the right guy won. So in other words, you felt that Bivol won. That's cool. I mean, it was a close fight. I personally felt better Biev won, but again, when it's a close fight, you can't complain about if it goes to the other guy or if it gets called a draw. All right, so Rob Font has entered the cage. Rob is fighting out of the red corner. Matsumoto's fighting out of the blue corner. Apparently, this is at a catch weight. Let's see. So Rob Font's 37, Matsumoto's 25. They're almost the same height, so they weighed in at around 138, 139. So that makes sense that on short notice, you can't maybe ask Matsumoto to cut all the way to 135. So I guess this is a young, up and comer, kind of taking on a veteran in Rob Font. I'm not sure if this is his first UFC fight, but we'll see how he does. So Michael Buffer just finished introducing Matsumoto. Now he's turn to Rob Font. Rob Font, of course, raising his hands to acknowledge the crowd. Can't tell if from the flag on his under his name if he chooses to represent a country other than the United States of America. Not that that matters. All right, so we're here to discuss UFC and boxing. We're not going to get any politics or religion or anything else. All right, here we go. We got Rob Font right away opening up with pretty hard striking. Looks like he wants to just try to get the younger guy out of there right away. Matsumoto's got an underhook, got Font pressed up against the cage. Looks like Matsumoto's fighting for two underhooks, trying to move down. But Font is defending very, very hard. Now Font has two underhooks, got Matsumoto against the cage. Font going for uppercuts to the body. Matsumoto tries to get a knee in there. Matsumoto kind of hand fighting a bit off the cage. Rob Font very nicely using his head to apply pressure. And you can tell Font's really experienced here, is using good leverage. Now Matsumoto's got Font against the cage again, but both men are hand fighting to get superior position. Kind of looks like Matsumoto's trying to move into position for a double, but I don't think he doesn't have his hands locked, and he's not as adept at using his head as Rob Font is. So not as effective. Font is pushing down on Matsumoto's head to defend the position. Matsumoto almost got Rob Font down to the ground. You can really tell Font has so much experience here. Font defending Matsumoto's underhook with a wizard grip. Matsumoto's just trying to throw knees, sort of half-heartedly, because he's not really in position. Men break apart. Now they move back towards the center of the cage. Font lands a very hard 1-2 on Matsumoto, backs him up. Matsumoto moves around to the center of the cage. Oh, Font misses with a big right uppercut. Matsumoto responds with a calf kick and a jab. Rob right back at him with his jabs. I like that Rob Font makes good use of his jab. Just throws a rear kick there. Lands a nice 1-2. Oh, nice double jab, right hand. Font's, I think, got the upper hand here in terms of hand striking for sure. So Matsumoto shoots in for a double, gets Font down on the ground. He almost fell into Font's full guard, but now Font has figure four'd his legs over one of Matsumoto's arms. Font is on his back, and Matsumoto's in kind of this kneeling position. Font on bottom, going for Kimura. Matsumoto defends by kind of coming to a side control position and just moving his hand to inside his own I can't tell if he's got inside his own leg, but they're kind of in a neutral position at this point. Then Matsumoto rotates around to the other side, working for side control on Rob Font, creating a frame really well, maneuvers onto his back. He's almost got Matsumoto in kind of a half guard position now. Matsumoto on top, trying to do a little ground and pound. Yeah, Hammerhead, we're not really going to advocate for any causes right now. We're just going to talk about either this fight or the boxing fights. Right, Matsumoto on top of Rob Font. Font's got him. Oh, Font is sitting up. Matsumoto going for kind of a headlock on top, trying to work. He's trying to work that in, but Font is defending well. Looks like he's fighting Matsumoto's hands from the bottom position. There's just about 30 seconds remaining in this first round. Nice work by Matsumoto to rotate around to almost to between north-south position and side control. But Font is really good at framing from bottom. And oh, nice. He 2-on-1 Matsumoto's hands to get up. He's by the cage. Matsumoto's trying to take his back, but Rob Font is really defending well. Matsumoto takes him down, but Font just basically lands on his rear end. And that's the round. All right, so even though Font was in bottom position for much of that last part of that round, he defended well, and I thought he had the superior striking. So I would give that first round to Rob Font. Hopefully he has enough gas to last him through 2 more rounds. I think Matsumoto is going to pick it up this next round and probably try for more takedowns just because I think his corner should know or have accepted that Font is the superior striker in this case. Steve, wow. Wow to what, this fight or something else? Just curious. Right? Did you guys watch Better Biev Bivol? Do you watch boxing or do you mostly just watch UFC? Okay, here we go with the second round between Rob Font and Jean Matsumoto. Matsumoto with a calf kick. Both men fighting out of orthodox position. Another calf kick from Matsumoto. Font seemed very comfortable in himself, just defending, walking Matsumoto down. Matsumoto throws 3-punch combination and moves. A double jab right hand from Rob Font. Matsumoto tries to respond and then circles around. Oh, nice head movement from Matsumoto, followed by a calf kick. 1-2, 1-2, and then calf kick from Matsumoto. Matsumoto has some decent slip movements, but Rob Font is catching him. He just caught him with a nice little right hand there. Hey, Shug, good to see you. Thank you so much. Yes, good, but very good night of boxing for sure. I missed some of the earlier fights because I was at practice myself. I didn't get to see Zhang versus Caballel, and I caught the tail end of Shakur, which I really didn't care about. I wasn't planning. I didn't really want to watch Shakur anyways. All right, right now Matsumoto has Rob Font pressed up against the cage, but Font is just defending well. Matsumoto gets him down to his rear end. So Font sitting against the cage. I'm not sure what Matsumoto's trying to do here. He's sort of got in half guard position. He's trying to step over Rob Font's legs, or he's trying to take him down, get him flat on his back, I think. But Font is just posting on Matsumoto's head, so it makes it very awkward. Right, Matsumoto's trying to go for a double, doesn't get it. Goes around, takes Rob's back, but they break apart another back center cage. Shug says, I was there to see the prelims and the main event. We were on the edge of our seats. Yeah, main event was awesome. Shug says, UFC Seattle. I was in Seattle in the 80s on Rainer Avenue and also around Rainier Vista, and Holly Park. Have you ever been? Yes, I've been to Seattle. I actually spent one summer there working as a lifeguard at Green Lake, which was a lot of fun. Probably one of the best jobs I've ever had for a summer job, that's for sure. All right, so Font and Matsumoto right in the middle of the cage, exchanging strikes. Matsumoto's really favoring that favoring that calf kick after he throws a couple of punches. I notice he likes to throw kind of reverse, like a 2-1 and then calf kick. Matsumoto's also doing a little bit of stance switching from righty to lefty. Font pretty much stays orthodox and kind of he uses that walking stance. Right, Matsumoto shoots in for a double, gets a single, gets Rob Font down, just hanging on for dear life while Rob Font just is posting on his head. So Matsumoto in great shape to be persistent with these takedowns. With under a minute and a half to go, uh, um, I'm not sure what Matsumoto's trying to do here. He's grabbing one of Font's feet. Oh, now he's maneuvered into some kind of a double leg takedown positions. Elevated Font, dumps him on his back. So now Matsumoto's trying to work into side control. But Font again has got the Kimura grip on one of his arms and works his way up. Very veteran move from Rob Font to do that. Sugar saying, what was my most effective weapon in boxing and in MMA? Probably overhand right for boxing. MMA, probably some of my judo throws to submissions, straight armbar, triangle choke. A couple of kicks from Matsumoto as he's fighting off the cage. Fonta's kind of pressing him back, hunting him down. Matsumoto's kind of circling around. Matsumoto's actually opening up with some head kicks now. Right, and that's the round. All right, I do think that Font needs a very big, dominant third round here, and I think he's definitely the better striker, so he should really, I think, focus on that and defending any takedowns. Shug, what were some of the other good fights that you saw on the boxing card? I mean, I thought the kid who fought Shakur did really well for himself because, I mean, he made it to the ninth round. Unlike Martin Bacoli, who got KO'd right near the start of the second. That was kind of a weird punch, though, because it's like Parker's Parker completely missed with the overhand right, but kind of grazed the top of Bacoli's head, and that just messed up his equilibrium. I'm not sure why the ref waved it off immediately after he got up, but I'm sure he saw something. All right, so we're back in the center of the cage here. Font looking for his jab right hand, and Matsumoto's just really unloading with his calf kick and then doing a lot of lateral motion around the perimeter of the cage. Matsumoto's also trying to open up a little bit with his strikes, mixing it up, jab, uppercut. Shug says Shakur's fight was good. His corner had to pull him out. He never would have quit. Oh, okay. Yeah. I caught that at the end that Padley's corner just like threw in the towel. Sugar's saying, yeah, Parker mocked Bacoli's balance, knocked Bacoli's balance off, and I think he was not capable of defending himself, but I enjoyed all the fights. That was a real solid card. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch back some of the undercard because I was at the gym. I was headed to the gym when Ajit Kabayel and Jean Gillet were getting in the ring, so I missed all of that. All right, so now Hi, Zoe. Thank you so much. Appreciate the gift. That's so kind. Now we have Jean Matsumoto, I think, bleeding from his left eyebrow. I'm not sure. Okay, nice hard jab right hand from Rob Font. Here's the thing, we have 3 minutes left in this round. You're not supposed to score damage, so I think Rob does need to pick the pace up a little bit here. Oh, another nice right hand. Another good jab lands for him. He's got John Matsumoto on the run. John comes back with calf kicks and strikes. Now John Matsumoto shoots in for a double but gets stuffed by Rob. Rob secures two underhooks, backs Matsumoto up to the cage. Now here's the difference. You see the veteran Rob Font really using his head as basically a third hand to apply pressure. Both men exchanging jabs, hard shots, Rob with a hard right uppercut. I like the fact that Matsumoto ends his combinations with these hard calf kicks. Right now, Matsumoto again has Font against the cage, underhook. Font has the wizard grip. They break apart, back to center cage. Hello, Ankit. It's good to see you. Good body work um, done by Zhang. As Sugar saying, Zhang was so effective. That set the tone for the rest of the fight. Ah, okay. Interesting. Very good to see you, Ankit. Sugar says, Ajit took his time and the liver shots were um, deliberate and regular on Zhang. The final liver shot was also accompanied with one to the solar plexus, and that took the wind out of Zhang. Great work. Huh. Yeah, sounds like a terrific, sounds like a smart game plan, right? Go to the body. All right, now we have Font has Matsumoto up against the cage again. Font is using his head, trying to throw body shots in there. He's got a minute left. Matsumoto's defending well with that wizard grip. Men fall to the ground, back up. Rob sneaks in a little uppercut. Again, he's using his head really well to apply pressure to Matsumoto against the cage. Matsumoto, a little bit wobbly, but still coming back, still throwing hard. 30 seconds left in this fight. Matsumoto comes with a spinning back fist. Lots of kicks now from Matsumoto. He's just letting it go, which is exactly the right thing to do. Oh, nice overhand right. Oh, nice overhand rights from Font. Both men just throwing for the fences here. I think they both want a big third round, and that's it. Wow. Great finish. It looks like the cut is on Matsumoto's forehead, actually. And they both seem to be giving each other props. Okay, so Ankit says, nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Ankit. Shug, it reminds me of when Stamp Fairfax landed a body shot with a kick on a girl and caused a heartbeat skip with the shot upstairs and ended it. This was in Colorado, and a hell of a way to end it. Interesting, I'll have to check that fight out. Ankit says, what are your thoughts on Beterbiev versus Bivol 2? Well, in lifetime, I felt that Beterbiev won simply because he was the one making the fight. Tundra says, what are you watching? We're watching UFC. Specifically, that was the fight between Rob Font, who was originally going to fight Dominic Cruz, but now he just finished fighting a 25-year-old from Brazil named Jean Matsumoto. So we'll see how the judges saw it. The fight went the distance. I would tend to give it to Rob Font, but you never know. Depends what the judges favor. If they favor those takedowns, then I could see them giving it to Matsumoto. But I felt Rob landed the more effective strikes and it kind of was the more effective aggressor in this case. Matsumoto definitely feels he won. Climbed up on the cage. I don't know if he's trying to talk to Dana White or somebody out there in UFC land. The officials are telling him, no, dude, you got to come to the center of the ring. Or, yeah, the referee's telling him, get to the center of the ring. Okay, so they gave the decision to Rob Font. Yeah, I think I would have given him that fight as well. I think Matsumoto did very well. He picked up his pace towards the end, but he just needed a stronger start. And the takedowns were great, but you know, the point is when you get someone on the ground, you've got to try to sub them. So, in any case, I think that was the veteran's experience that got him that W. Okay, so Sugar saying Better Biev versus Bivol was so good. I just watched it as a fan, didn't even score it. It was technical for boxing purists, yes, definitely, but also had lots of action for casuals. I think it was win-win. Yeah, for sure. It was a fun fight. I almost wish I had more camera angles to be able to really take it in, but yeah, it was. eh, I wouldn't say Eddie Hearn tends to be a little bit overblown. He said something about best fight of the lifetime and all this. It's like not quite if you were born in the 70s, weren't you, Eddie? So, so there's plenty of great fights back then that we have to count. Um, in any case, it was a great fight. It lived up to everything it could have been. I mean, sometimes rematches stink the place out just because both guys know each other so well that they're hesitant to take any risks. But that certainly wasn't the case in this rematch. Um, do you guys think they should have the rubber match? Bival won one, Beterbiev won one, so now, um, mean in all fairness, I think Beterbiev deserves a rematch if he wants it. But what do you guys want to see? Shik says, I'm as old as Methuselah, and this was not the best fight ever, but it was excellent. Okay, I like how you put that. Yeah, it wasn't the best fight ever, but yeah, it was a great fight. All right, so they're doing a little promo now for Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker. Interesting. That's coming up, I suppose. I mean, it's coming up for UFC 313. Shug says, I think the third fight would be very intriguing. We got a quarter for Pacquiao Marquez, so why not trilogy for these two? True. Yeah. Um, I guess the question is, is it an immediate rematch? Do we let Bivol or Beterbiev take another fight in between? I don't think that would necessarily make sense for Beterbiev to do that, either one to do that, but, you know, um, what did Dimitri say? Maybe he'll fight again in October or December. But he was sort of non-committal. He, in a sense that he said, I'll fight whoever, whether it's the third fight with Beterbiev or whether it's Canelo again or whether it's David Benavidez. He's like, bring me anybody, which is like the right answer. What do you guys think? How do you think David Benavidez would fare versus either Bivol or Beterbiev? Sugar saying the two fights happened 4 months apart, but I think for the third, they should both take a break and rest. Yes, definitely. Bivol, he said he came into both fights with niggling injuries. Um, yeah, I could believe that for sure. I mean, it's hard to sustain that, like to go from the fight and then, like you said, that 4 months in between, you really don't have time to heal up anything, and then you're right back at it. Um, so yeah, because I mean, 1 month is really 4 weeks is not enough time for you to heal anything up if you got it a little injury, and then of course once you pick up hard training, the odds of you picking up more little annoying little injuries is bound to happen. All right, so who else do we have here besides Shug? Shug says, I haven't seen a fight turn around that soon since Tyson Holyfield, too. Oh, you have a great memory. I couldn't even call that one, but yeah, they turned it around fast, I'm sure, at the urging of Turkey. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think there's any bias or any. Do you think Turkey influences any of the outcomes at any of these fights, or do you think he just tells the judges, judge the fight as fairly as possible? Because it's almost like it would be in his best interest to have a third fight. I don't know. I'm always coming up with these conspiracy theories, but it's just food for thought, really. Thank you for dropping off the 5 jewels. I can't remember who that was, but I really appreciate the little gift. You guys know you can buy jewels and drop gifts on live streams. It's a new feature, apparently. Sugar saying Turkey openly has his favorites. That's funny. And Grimace when his pick loses, but he always wishes the winner well. Yeah. Um, as long as he doesn't make it too obvious to the judges or drop hints, because, then officials feel sort of obligated to keep the promoter happy because they want to keep working. They want to continue to be picked. Okay, Ankit is saying, I mean, he's really controlling boxing right now. True, he might have some influence over the decision. Definitely true. The other thing that crossed my mind was like I was curious. Do you guys know who Kadyrov is? That was sort of the red-headed, bearded guy that was in the background of Beterbiev's corner. He's a Chechen dictator or whatever, ruler, leader, dictator. He's the guy who told uh, Hamzat Shemaev, "You're not done." Do you remember when Shemaev was saying, he got COVID twice? He was just like not getting better. He kept trying to come back and train. And he kept getting sick, and he was just like finally he tweeted out, "Hey guys, I'm done," or something like that. And apparently, the Chechen ruler contacted and said, "No, dude, you are not done. You're gonna keep fighting." Well, I don't know. Um, Move 37. Thank you for coming back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're watching UFC. We just saw Rob Font, the veteran, um, eke out a split decision win over a youngster from Brazil, John Matsumoto. So I think Font really showed his experience differential there. Sugar saying CJ Ross handed in some 114 scorecards for Pac-Man Bradley won. Right, yeah, the one that Bradley supposedly won. Mayweather, Canelo, and one other. She helped into retirement. um, who was the other one? It was Adelaide Bird. Always seemed to come up with somewhat controversial scorecards. I have no idea if she's related to Chris Bird, the former heavyweight fighter, or there's another Bird who's a referee, or yeah, a referee. In any case, yeah, she's had some pretty shocking scorecards. But I mean, there should be some accountability or some consequence if an official hands in like a certain number of, I mean, everybody's everyone can have a bad day at the office, but like when it's a main event of that type of magnitude, or even if it's not a main event, even if it's a small boxing card, if you're that one official or one judge that has an egregious scorecard, I mean, how many times is that going to be tolerated by the commission before they're sort of yanked and sort of put on suspension, just like a fighter can get suspended, an athlete can get, you know, what is that, a card, you get penalized, you got to sit out for a bit. Why can't these officials be asked to sit out for a bit? Time out. Get it together. Then we'll give you another chance. If you keep screwing up, we're gonna, eventually you're out of here. Um, they're state employees. They're being paid by taxpayer money. Okay, so I'm not sure who we have in the ring right now. I'm really. Oh, it's the guy who wears that Davy Crockett hat. Sugar saying for more realistic scorecards, I think judges should be mandatorily pulled from ex Hall of Fame fighters. Yeah, see, the only thing with that, Sugar, is like sometimes fighters are so disgusted with the boxing industry that they don't necessarily want to be part of that. But you know what? You're right. If there was sort of a recruitment process or some type of incentive for a fighter to go into that, then maybe we'd see better judging. Sugar saying, D, did you ever take a loss and think, oh, I was robbed? Well, I mean, that's just it. When I know I'm the B side, I know I got to get a stoppage in order to get a win. So, I mean, I don't really stress that too much because it's like if I'm not able to stop that other person and they're the A side, they're gonna give me a loss or at best a draw. So notice on my record I got 5 draws. Um, but yeah, I mean the other thing is in a 4 or 6 round fight, it's so short that it's hard to, you know, sometimes it's just hard to make it really clear because in a 4 round fight, if one round is close, you could easily get a loss, right? Yeah, for sure. I felt there were times when I was robbed, or at worst case, the fight should have been a draw. But like I said, knowing that I'm the B side and not the A side, I know what time of day it is, as they say. So okay, so we're looking at Brendan Allen, who's the Davy Crockett guy, versus Anthony Hernandez. Both gentlemen are fighting out of the United States of America. I don't know anything about either fighter except one guy wears a Davy Crockett hat and has bleach blonde hair. So sorry, got no technical info on these. Omar, how are you doing? Was Cedric Kushner one of your promoters? Well, you know what, Omar, you're very insightful. He wasn't like I was never signed to a promoter. But I did wind up fighting on a lot of Cedric Kushner cards. Ironically, he ran what he called heavyweight explosion. So believe it or not, I had a bunch of fights on the heavyweight explosion cards. I think in a sense they were using us females as kind of to break the monotony, if you will, of these bunch of heavyweight dudes. But yeah, I mean, I think the theory there is, heavyweights are the sort of the premier division in boxing, can generate the most money. So I think he was hoping to just grab a bunch of heavyweights, throw them against the wall, and see who sticks, right? Um, but you know what? Sometimes our fight was definitely the fight of the night, even though like I would say in one of our fights we threw more punches in a 2 minute round than two heavyweight guys did in a whole entire 10 3 minute rounds. But sadly, they were probably making 20 times as much as we were. So, anyways, Shug says imagine you headed to the back, like sort of boxing can be frustrating. Son of a, yeah, well, I mean, like I said, like I didn't dwell on it too much because I knew, like, okay, I'm gonna have to get a stoppage. Otherwise, I'm not gonna get the decision. So, hey, Sino7 says, great boxing match, Hamaguchi fight. Thank you. So, I'm not sure which boxing fight you're referring to, but Better Be a Biaval was a lot of fun. We did a lot for that too. Did you see that, Sino7? All right now Hernandez has Davy Crockett on his back. They're kind of grappling on the ground, going into a bit of a scramble. Uh, Brandon Allen's now made it to all fours. They're in a bit of a bulldog position here with Hernandez got his arm around Allen's waist. Got going for wrist control. Another scramble. Now Hernandez looks like he's trying to press Allen up against the cage wall. So I know saying the whole card. Yeah, the whole. I mean, I didn't see the whole card, but I definitely want to watch back Jean Ajit Kabayel. I mean, I got to give huge props to Caballel because like a couple of years ago, I was just so down on him, very critical of his technique, but he really, really, really has just improved. Might get most improved award for me. Okay. Hernandez has managed to grapple Brendan Allen to his back. He's got him in side control. Allen is hand fighting from the bottom. Um, Sino says missed Bival, but predicted that he would win. Only match I predicted incorrectly was Ortiz versus Madrimov. Huh, okay. Yeah, I predicted better be Bival wrong, as you guys know. I also predicted Bakoli would knock out Parker, but I got that 180 degrees wrong. So I'm 0 for 2 for my predictions for today. All right. Hernandez and Brendan Allen kind of grappling against the cage here. Kind of an awkward position where it looks like Hernandez is trying to get half control, half guard, but is not quite able to. Tries to take Brendan Allen's back and do a little ground and pound. They've got their legs interlocked. Sino saying New Parker was going for a knockout, coming in at 257 pounds or 267 pounds. Yeah, that overhand right of his is incredible. But the crazy thing is he missed with that overhand right. He kind of grazed Bacoli's head and still knocked him wobbly, and then Bacoli was never able to recover. I definitely want to I definitely would like to see it from the referee's angle because I'm curious to know what the referee saw in Bacoli that had him wave it off. But regardless, there was really no protest from Bacoli. All right, so now Brandon Allen has top control over Hernandez. He's in, looks like he's in half guard position. One arm around Hernandez's neck. Looks like he might be trying to work into an arm triangle choke. I'm not sure exactly what he's going for here. Got a minute left. I mean, he could just ride this out. He's trying to work in some shots from top position occasionally. Oh, man, he's going for the Americana. Hernandez turns on his front, gives up his back. Now Brandon still has Hernandez back. He's going in for a rear naked choke, switches back to some ground and pound. Not a good position for Hernandez. They're up against the cage. Brendan Allen working in that rear naked choke. Hernandez fights it. Now he's on his back. Brendan Allen is in half guard, administering elbows from top position. Again, goes for Try to isolate the arm with Hernandez's head, and that's the round. Well, it didn't start out as well for Brandon Allen, but it certainly finished well for him, so I would definitely give him that round. So Hernandez needs to come back with something big in this next round. Who do you guys want to see Bivol face next? Do you want him to do the trilogy with Beterbiev? Do you want to see him rematch Canelo ever? I don't particularly want to see him fight Canelo. Do you want to see either Beterbiev or Bivol fight David Benavidez? I think Bivol Benavidez would be interesting, but I think that Beterbiev Benavidez might be more interesting. I think that will be. I think that would actually be kind of tough for Beterbiev. Anyways, Ankit says both guys have good ground games. Allen has better jiu-jitsu. Hernandez is better striker. Interesting. Okay, thank you for that insight. I don't really, like I said, I really haven't paid too much attention to either one of these guys. All right, so we're into round two. Brandon Allen opens it with a little calf kick. Hernandez shoots in right away. Doesn't quite get it, but does get Brandon to the ground. Now Hernandez is on top while Brandon is on all fours. They're right up against the cage. Brandon does seem to know how to defend well from that position. It's hard. I can't really tell what Hernandez is trying to do. I think he's trying to get in kind of a mount position, even though Allen is seated. Move 37. So you would rather see Bivol fight Benavidez. Cool. Yeah, that would be a good fight. Ankit says Canelo should fight Bud. As a Canelo fan, I think he's avoiding fight. He's avoiding Bud. Yeah. I don't know what Canelo's up to. What his thought process is. But right now, Hernandez has Allen's was trying to take Allen's back. Now he's in half guard. Allen's defending well, gets on all fours. Hernandez has his back, one leg in. I'm not sure what he's doing here. I think he's trying to get the other hook in, and then he gives up on that. Looks like he's almost going for seatbelt. Then he gives up on that. Now he's just trying to do a little ground and pound. Do you guys want to see Canelo fight Bud Crawford? How do you think that goes? Do you think Bud can defeat Canelo? All right, Hernandez and Hernandez looks like he was trying to go for a rear naked choke, but Allen scrambles out of that. I can see you're right, Ankit. Brandon Allen does really have great jiu-jitsu. He's able to just predict all of Hernandez's attempts here and kind of defend and then avoid them. So now it looks like Hernandez is trying to get side control. But Brandon turns on his front, goes on to all fours, turtles up. I mean, that's kind of a veteran thing to do to put yourself in that position. So he's comfortable. He can defend. Nice sweep by Brandon Allen. Now he gets Hernandez on his back. We've got about a minute 45 to go here. Now Brandon works his way up to take Hernandez's back. Doesn't have his hooks in yet. He's got one hook in. Looks like he's trying to work for a rear naked as he does a little ground and pound. Yeah, he's just kind of muscling Hernandez to the ground here. To his credit, Brendan's very patient on the ground. He's still got just one hook in and kind of now he has both hooks in, kind of backpacking Hernandez. Hernandez dumps him on his back. Now Hernandez is trying to go for the ground and pound. So move 37. You don't think Bud can take on Canelo? Okay. I'm assuming that's what you're saying no to. All right. Now Hernandez has Allen's back. Allen rotates. He's C gripping with two underhooks. We have less than 30 seconds to go. Now some ground and pound from Hernandez. But he's still in Brandon Allen's half guard, so. Still trying to administer some heavy elbows from top. That's what Hernandez is doing right now. Not really quite able to connect. Oh, now he is. Okay. And that's the round. So, good job by Hernandez. He got in some hard elbows right at the end of that round. All right, this is a tough fight to call. Probably might be another split decision. I don't know. What time is it where you guys are at? Where are you guys? Right now it is like almost 8 p.m. in the evening here in lovely California. Oh, move 37, you're in Texas. Cool. I've only been to, let's see, San Antonio. And I didn't get to see much because we just kind of stayed near the hotel and went to the venue. I've certainly passed through Dallas, but again, haven't spent too much time in, actually, no, not San Antonio, Houston. All right, ref's calling time. I think there was an eye poke or something. Yeah, Hernandez poked Brandon Allen. So, Ankit says, for me, Hernandez is winning this one. All right, so that was an eye poke, so we're giving Allen time to recover. And we're back at it. Hernandez has Allen back, pushing him against the cage. And Brendan Allen's really opening up with some hard shots now, fighting with a bit more urgency. Hernandez throws two shots, shoots in. There's a wild scramble. Allen kind of reverses it. They break apart. Back to the striking. Both men fighting out of orthodox. Oh, nice little left hook from Brandon Allen. Nice counter right from Hernandez. Great jabbing by Hernandez. Hernandez throws a jab and then goes straight to body lock, pushes Allen against the cage. He's kind of maintaining that body lock, working Allen down to the mat. Hernandez gets one hook in. Does a little punching motion. Hernandez just pressing Allen up against the cage. Now he's got Allen's back, kind of underhook, or he's shooting in for a double leg, trying to elevate Brendan. Didn't quite get it. Big dog. Who's fighting now? Brendan Allen and Hernandez, from both Americans fighting on the UFC card. Undercard of Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong. Big dog, did you watch any of the boxing fights earlier today? Alright, right now we got Hernandez kind of having the back of Brendan Allen. Trying to drag him down. Manages to get him down on all fours. Halfway through this third and final round. And we just have Hernandez trying to administer some knees while Brendan Allen is on all fours, right by the cage. Oh, nice move by Brendan Allen. He's now seated and then turns back to all fours. Big Dog says, no, I didn't watch any fights yet. I forgot it was Saturday. Yeah, it was earlier than normal today. Big Dog says, but I am now. Yeah, you'll be able to see all the fights. They'll be posted on YouTube, I'm sure. If Tricky doesn't post the fights immediately, he will on his channel. Okay, so Hernandez still with sort of top control, even though Brendan Allen is on all fours. Not a lot of action at this point, but Hernandez is being the dominant one, so we'll give him credit for that. I mean, Brendan Allen is very clever at defending all these awkward positions, but that's not enough to get you the win. All right, Hernandez still working from the top. Looks like he's patiently trying to take Brendan Allen's back. He's got one hook in, then extracts himself. Brendan is defending the position well. Again, Brendan on. Oh, makes it up to both feet. But now he's right back on his back. Hernandez has Allen against the cage, trying to administer some ground and pound. Lots of elbows. All right, so this is not a pretty fight, guys, but it looks like it'll probably go Hernandez's way. All right, and that's the fight. Both men stand back up, acknowledge each other. All right, I would think they would give that fight to Hernandez. What fights are you guys looking forward to coming up? Ankit says, what are your thoughts on moving of Ilya moving to lightweight? Should he fight someone like Poirier or Oliveira before fighting Islam? I mean, I'm not sure what the rush is to move to lightweight, but did he say why he wants to do that? Oh, Move 37 is looking forward to watching Tank versus Roach. I'm kind of bummed out because Tank seems just sort of disinterested in boxing at the moment or something. I'm not sure if he's just messing with us or if that's how he really feels. But I mean, Tank is always explosive, so he's always a fun fighter to watch. Okay, so seeing as the cameraman, that was kind of biased for a moment there. The camera was only on Hernandez, but now they're back to both fighters and the ref in the middle. I guess I guess Brendan Allen has a monster deal because he's holding the monster can. And Hernandez, of course, gets the win. I shouldn't say of course, but. And Brandon Allen just kind of walks away. I don't know. It's like you can have brilliant defense, but that doesn't win you a fight. It's Anthony Hernandez. I'm not sure if I called him the right first name. Bisping is asking Hernandez what his game plan was. Apparently, they fought before, and Hernandez says he got messed up with Allen's kick, so he didn't want that again. All right, so there you go. Anthony Hernandez defeats Brandon Allen. I'm guessing that maybe Brandon Allen won their first matchup. I don't know. All right, so we're cutting away from the fights for a moment, cutting to B-roll of the Seattle Needle, kind of a landmark. All right, what version of Henry Cejudo do you think we'll see? Do you think we'll see Henry at his best? Oh boy. Okay, so we're cutting to um, some footage of Henry Cejudo, showing him training, running, his Olympic gold, and losing to Demetrius Johnson, and then his comeback to defeat Johnson. What do you guys think of Henry Cejudo? Song Yudong said this fight is a matchup between a young guy and an older guy who's about to retire. He's kind of laughing when he says it. He goes, but he's a very famous fighter. Many people will watch this fight, including my fans in China. So I must win this fight and get another chance to challenge for the top 5. All right, so at least Song has a very sort of realistic outlook. Move 37 says 2 inactive to fight. Feels like an expo fight. Ankit says king of cringe. Yeah, excuse me. I tend to agree with you on the cringe part, Ankit. That's the part of Henry that kind of turned me off. I mean, I didn't think all the cringe stuff was necessary, but in any case, Cejudo says that he sees himself stopping Song because he has more experience. Song says, I think you could put some pressure on him, and with my striking, I believe I can win this fight. Well, yeah, I would tend to agree with that statement. From the start of this fight, I will put pressure on him until I knock him out. Cejudo says he sees himself on top, raining punches down on me. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think we're going to see uh, that version of Henry that used to be, like the one that beat Demetrius Johnson. Okay, so we're heading to the cage. They're lighting the arena up in red. And here comes Song Yadong. So, Song is his last name, Yadong is his given name, but a lot of Asian cultures you address somebody by last name, first name, not first name, last name, like we do. Alright, so Song is walking out very calmly towards the arena, towards the cage. Oh, now he lets loose with a big scream. And kids asking me at what age did I start boxing? Probably I started in my late 20s, believe it or not. All gone says looker in the front, poker in the back. Okay, well, we're basically watching UFC right now, UFC Seattle. So if you want to talk about boxing or MMA, you're welcome to hang with us. But that's basically the topic of conversation. All right, so Song is just getting ready to step in the cage, so he's disrobing. I think he's with Team Alpha Male, right? So hugging up his corner. Ankit says, I'm 20. Am I late? Well, I mean, depends what you want to do, Ankit. It's never too late to start training. I mean, the thing is, want to, you have to have some amateur background before before you turn pro, if that's what you're thinking. Um, Depends. Have you played other sports? All right, this cut man is taking forever to grease Song up, but whatever. Now he's getting checked out by the official. Song enters the cage, raises his hand to acknowledge the crowd. All right, now we're gonna change the lighting in the arena. Lights go down, they come up blue for, I assume Henry's gonna fight in the blue corner. Trying to figure out. All right, and we got Henry walking out. Everybody's wearing that sort of unattractive black with weird stripes UFC track jacket. I'm really bummed out that they decided to make everybody wear exactly the same thing. And I'm not a fan of that Venom design, so, anyways. We had better tracksuits back in the day, that's for sure. I mean, like, I don't think anyone would want to wear one of those tracksuits, just wear it for the sake of wearing it, like, out and about. Whereas everybody rocked those Adidas tracksuits. Okay, so now we got Henry disrobing. Not even sure what team he trains with at this point, or if he just has like a select group of coaches that he works with one on one. All right, so Henry's disrobing, taking some water, hugging up his coaches. Now Henry goes to get greased up by Don House, getting checked out by the official. And Henry makes his way into the cage. Okay, so he's wearing those funny little ankle things. What always makes me a little suspicious when I see a fighter wearing those. It's like, why bother? I mean, not gonna ankle supports aren't gonna do much for you. But anyways, if it makes you feel good, so be it. They're also kind of gross if you're the person that has to spar with that person, because some people let their stuff get pretty funky. I mean, unless you wash those things out regularly, they just get pretty. They hold on to the funk pretty, pretty well. So imagine someone throwing a head kick and you get splashed with sweat from their ankle brace in your face. Not not pleasant. All right. In any case, now we got Bruce Buffer screaming the announcements. So this will take a few minutes. All right, guys, we're watching Henry Cejudo. Let's see if the veteran still has something. Henry Cejudo is taking on Song Yadong, who fights with Team Alpha Male, which is, of course, uh, the team that has that huge rivalry with Dominic Cruz, who was originally scheduled to fight earlier on in this card. Um, Actually, just 2 fights ago, he was supposed to face Rob Font. Eric, or no, no? Sorry, I can't really read your name. Do I still live in New York? No, I live in California now. But New York was a great city to live in for a minute, that's for sure. Were you watching some of the fight footage? Is that why? Because that all that was shot. I was living in New York. All right, now we got Bruce introducing Song Yadong. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you watched those videos. Um, there's some definitely some vintage looks of New York back in the day, so it's kind of nostalgic. Yeah, I loved living in New York at that time, and Harlem was definitely an adventure. Uh, Definitely had a lot of character back then, so that was a learning experience for me for sure. Check out some of those Judo in Harlem videos. Those will also show you some really cool footage of what Harlem was like back then. All right, now Bruce Buffer is going to scream Henry Cejudo's introduction. Not sure why Henry wants to go into a kneeling position, like how you kneel at the beginning of martial arts class. Kind of a weird way to start a fight. All right, well, apparently Cejudo still has lots of fans in the audience. Either that or he brought a lot of big family with him or something. All right, Song definitely has the height advantage. I don't know. Henry looks a little quirky to me tonight, so I think Song's right. He's just going to come out hard with some strikes. Henry versus who? Song Yadong. All right, both men dap each other up, and they're off the striking. Both men standing in orthodox stance. And Song opens up with a calf kick. Henry attempts a jab right hand. Song with the second calf kick. Circles away. Henry follows. Henry's got some really awkward kind of upper body movement, I would say. But it's funny because Song is also holding his torso very upright. Another calf kick by Song Yadong. Neither man really throwing any significant strikes with their hands yet. Henry attempts a body kick, but it doesn't connect. Henry's looking a little bit stiff for me. Henry's kind of mixing in his takedown feints to another strike up high. That's an interesting strategy. Henry tries a calf kick, but really almost throws himself off balance. Oh, jab to the body from Song. Henry's being the one that's moving around laterally more, and Song's kind of just holding the center of the cage, just kind of loosely bouncing up and down. Oh, another jab to the body by Song. Another calf kick from Song. Good jab from Song. Song with another calf kick. Henry's trying to advance forward, trying to feint like he's going to shoot for a double, but doesn't really get going with that. Now, calf kick from Henry doesn't quite connect. Head kick attempt from Henry doesn't quite connect. Song is being very patient here, just slowly bouncing up and down. We're about halfway through the first round. Counter right from Song. Song with another calf kick. I think he connected with that left hook. Henry still kind of got that. Now he's starting to relax a little bit, it looks like, especially with his footwork. Again, Song just kind of holding position while Henry kind of is a little more jittery and moving around a lot more. Now he's back to that very stiff, awkward, jittery, fake. Oh, goodness. So as Henry's charging forward, Song knocks off about 3 or 4 little strikes to Henry's head. Henry tries a head kick that doesn't connect. Nice counter right hand from Song. Calf kick attempt from Henry. Song returns the favor with the calf kick. Counters Henry as Henry's coming in. Henry still circling around. Song with a jab. Henry fakes like he's going to shoot in. Comes up top. Got less than a minute left here in this first round. What do I think about 3-minute rounds for women? Yeah, I'm all for it. I think we should fight 3-minute rounds. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? Oh, Song with a nice right uppercut as Henry's backing away. That was a nice shot by Song. Less than 30 seconds left here. Henry missing with some big walk-in shots. Song misses a little bit with that counter right hand. Catches Henry's kick and counters him as he's coming in. Oh, nice left hook from Song. And that's the round. All right. Yeah, I think women should fight 3-minute rounds. We're fighting other women, so why should we fight 2-minute rounds, 1 minute off? Ankit says Song 1-0. For sure, Song won that round. Yeah, Song did the more significant damage in that first round. Henry just looks super awkward. I tend to think it's almost like when you get too big and you can just pay people to train you one-on-one and you're not sort of thrown in the mix with tons of sparring partners. Sometimes that doesn't serve you well. Like in Henry's case, he needs to be in the mix with a lot of different strikers, all different body types, so he can kind of find himself as a striker. Because he just looks a little bit awkward and stiff in all of his striking. And, as a world-class former champion, I would want them to be a little more relaxed with their striking, even if obviously the grappling is more of his strength. Okay, again, both men fighting out of orthodox. Song looks like he's just trying to hold the center of the cage. Oh, nice counter right by Song. Henry attempts a calf kick. Henry's the one kind of moving around, doing these awkward fakes. Henry with the calf kick. Song comes back with a jab. Henry kind of charges in with these bizarre combinations. Looks like he's sort of trying to feint, like he's going to shoot in for a double. Call them walk-in punches. But all Song has to do is retreat as Henry charges forward. Henry with a couple of calf kicks, Song with a jab. So I like how Song's just keeping his eyes focused right on Henry. He's not getting faked out by any of Henry's level changes. Oh, we're being visited by Herbie the cat once again. All right, Henry trying sort of a... It looks like he's trying to go like what Marab was doing with an overhand right to a knee tap. Right, the Song, nice straight jabs. Song is being incredibly patient here, just waiting for his openings. Henry's trying to level change. Song with a counter right. Another counter right. Oh, and a big right to the body from Song. He's so confident, Song is. Oh, and he goes for a little knee tap and then Overhand right. Henry with the calf kick. Song with the calf kick. Both men just sticking at mid range. Again, Henry shoots in but gets stuffed. Song opens up with a couple double jabs. Move 37. Thanks for the little emojis. Oh, nice right hand by Song. Henry tries sort of a switch head kick. Henry shoots in for a double, or a single rather. Song blocks it. They're right back up to their feet. Henry can't afford to just be standing right in front of Song like that. Now Henry switched to southpaw. Oh, right hand from Song while Henry's in southpaw. Not sure why he switched. Um, oh, and Henry drops Song. Interesting. We've got 2 minutes left. Again, Henry shoots in like he's going for a single, but Song blocks that. Hard left hand by Song, calf kick, couple of the punches. Connect for Song. We're under 2 minutes now. Henry attempts a rear head kick. Now he switches back to righty stance. Song is opening up with some jabs. Teep, jab right hand. Oh, nice jab connects. See, Henry doesn't quite know when to do all his defensive head movements. He's just kind of making these jittery motions with his upper body. About a minute left in the second round. Song misses with a hard counter right. Goes again, comes back to the calf kick. Henry is in southpaw stance. So Henry's trying a jab right hand. Now Henry's back to right stance. Henry actually connects with a couple of shots there. Back to lefty. And Song shoots in, gets a single. Punches his way out of that. Henry's connecting with a jab now out of southpaw. Maybe that works better for Henry to fight out of southpaw stance, which would be a righty wrestling stance. Oh, but Henry gets clipped by Song, and he comes right back and clips Song with a couple straight lefts. Oh, nice exchange right towards the end of this round. We got 5 seconds left. Nice straight left by Henry. Wow, much better round for Henry Cejudo. EC says, what do you think about Taekwondo as a martial art? I took it as a kid. I liked the actual sparring that we did. I mean, with no direct face shots and with pads, but still. Yeah, I mean, Taekwondo is very athletic. I mean, you guys have super fancy jumping kicks, right? The one critique I would have is that it's not really a great setup for like MMA because you're not allowed to punch to the head, right? You can only kick to the head. Um, so that's one thing where Taekwondo specialists, are relying on being able to kick from distance. Uh, like I said, super fancy kicks, spinning back kicks, flying spinning kicks, all that crazy stuff, and very athletic. But if you're gonna eventually try to make your way into MMA, I think you want to round yourself out a little bit. But yeah, Taekwondo. I mean, hey, it's an Olympic sport. Um, great fancy kicks, great kicks. Okay, Ankit said close round. Henry might have won this one, 1-1 for me. Yeah, we could give that one to Henry and make it even. Now Henry seems to be sticking with fighting out of southpaw stance. but he's switching back to righty. I don't know what he's doing here. Righty, lefty. Okay, both men fighting at closer range now. I think Song has to be a little more strategic with how he sets up his punches and his combinations. Now Henry's got Song a little bit on the run. Song is showing really his nice head movement. Henry's really starting to pick up some confidence with his jab as a southpaw, and that seems to be working for him. I don't know if that first round was like a throwaway to sort of lull Song into thinking Henry was going to fight him as an orthodox fighter and then confuse him with the distance now for the remainder of the fight. Interesting strategy if that is something they thought about. Now Henry's really starting to pick it up. Oh, tried a flying knee, but that didn't work. I think Song needs to pick this up a little bit. Song needs to start feinting more to set Henry up. Oh, nice hard 1-2 by Song. The way Henry's fighting, though, he's creating this optical illusion that with all this motion that he's winning the fight, winning this round, even if he's not connecting. Henry again, feinting the knee tap. Song trying to counterpunch. Nice knee, but Henry motions that it was to the groin, so the ref has given him a moment. Actually, that was a ball kick. That was a reverse kick that landed a little bit low. All right, so Cejudo says he's okay. So we're back at it. Oh, nice left hook by Song. Song really should open up with those left hook right hands. Good calf kick by Song. Henry's catching Song with his jab. Nice knee attempt by Song. Doesn't quite connect, I don't think. Nice jab connects for Song. Song might be figuring out the distance now with Henry fighting out of southpaw. Oh, good counter right from Song. Henry's right back at it with his jabs, though, so that's to his credit. Henry fakes the knee tap again. Now Henry switches back to right stance. Does land a good shot on Song right there. Song does need to pick the pace up. We're about less than a minute and a half to go. Henry's back to lefty. Claims an eye poke from Song. Or so, I think. Or is that another groin kick? Oh, yeah, eye poke. That's what it was. Henry level changed and Song had his hand out. So the ref is talking to Henry. So now we got the doctor coming in to give him a cloth to wipe. A crew says, what do I think about Virgil Cheese versus Madrimov? I missed that fight, so I'm going to have to rewatch it back. I heard Madrimov was ill or something, he had bronchitis, so he wasn't really up to his best. But what did you think of the fight? I didn't see it. All right, so we got timeout right now for Henry to recover from that eye poke. It's back to the doctor. Doctor's taking a look at it. I mean, if Henry wants a way out of this fight, this is it right here. He could just say he can't see. Having a little conversation between Henry, the ref, and the doctor. All right, so looks like Cejudo wants to continue. He keeps looking up. I'm not sure what he's looking up at. Still has about 2.5 minutes of timeout time if he wants to take it. Seems like he's trying to get his vision to clear. Looks like Henry's trying to communicate with his corner. Song's got a little blood on his face. So was the Jean Caballel fight really good? It sounds pretty exciting. I mean, huge props to Ajit Caballel. Right, so Henry's communicating with the ref now. Got about a minute left. So Henry's sitting down, kind of waving at everybody, smiling. Okay, 30 seconds left of his timeout. Oh, I see. Okay, so all right, so Henry's back to his feet. Oh, thanks for explaining about your YouTube name. Right, now we're back to the action. Song really's got to retract his fingers because he's still sticking his fingers out. That makes no sense. Okay, we got a minute left in this third round. Song opens up with some strikes. Song tries to throw a knee. Henry's moving around well, but I'm not sure if he's just going to try to eat up the clock here. Song goes for a body shot. So I'm just going to call you E. E said it was a good fight, Ortiz versus Madrimov, and that I should check the highlights of the whole thing if I can find it. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. Thank you for that suggestion. Okay, we got Song kind of hunting Henry down. Less than 10 seconds to go. Henry looks like he was just trying to move around for this last minute to finish, and there we get to the bell. So Henry survives, and right away he's in conversation with his corner. So Cejudo's saying he can't see, it's blurry. Said he's saying his vision in his left eye is blurry, I think. Well, if you're going to say you can't see, the doctor's going to stop the fight. So, so Henry's kind of smiling. I don't know what he's saying to the doctor. So they're going to start the round, then they're going to stop it, go to the scorecards. Huh. So he's kind of looking at the referee, Jason Herzog, like, what? And Song is like, what? I mean, yeah, I mean, it's. Now Jason's telling the doc to get in here. Herzog's waving the fight off. So Song looks really disappointed. He's just sitting down, holding his head. I don't know what the rule is for MMA because there's only 3 rounds or 5 rounds. In boxing, it's you got to get past the third round. The fight gets stopped on an accidental headbutt, then you go to the scorecards if you're past 3 rounds. But so now you have Jason Herzog trying to explain everything to Team Alpha Male. But now you got Bruce Buffer entering the cage. Herzog's talking to Bruce Buffer. So I don't know what's fair for a 5 round fight. You know, if it goes into the fourth round, which is I think what Herzog was trying to do is get it to go into the fourth round, so then they can go to the scorecards if it gets stopped. But I don't know. I thought that if you quit, you quit and you lose. I mean, unless your opponent DQs himself. This is a disappointing way for this main event to end. It's almost like Henry walked into Song's fingers, in a sense, but Song, of course, shouldn't have had his fingers extended like that. Alright, so both men acknowledge each other. All right. Well, that was a non-dramatic ending to that fight. That's for sure. So all we have are scorecards for the first 3 rounds. So it's like, I mean, we might as well just pretend this was a 3-round fight then, right? Oh, so Song gets the decision. 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27. So if Henry thought he was ahead, that was not a good strategy. If Henry just wanted to get out of the last 2 rounds, then I guess it was a good strategy because now he's going to collect his full paycheck even though he only went 3 rounds. So, uh, well, I have to say that was more than anticlimactic. So this is one night where boxing beat MMA in terms of entertainment value. Sorry, my teeth are kind of blue from eating these blueberries. What did you guys think? No, so Song apologizes to the fans. Bisping is talking to Song in the ring. Oh, flying knee did land for Song. Nice work. I fought in boxing today. I sparred boxing practice earlier in the day. We watched the boxing fights from Riyadh season. Also, I did a live. It's already up. Should be up. Just look for another yellow thumbnail that says live on it with Beterbiev's and Bival's pictures. Henry's saying he can't see out of his left eye. Who? So you're asking me who I sparred? I mean, I just spar out of Victory MMA. So whoever shows up for sparring, so we just it's like potluck sparring. All right. So I don't know if we're gonna see a Cejudo Song rematch. Kind of a that was like so anticlimactic. Oh well. So that sort of wasn't worth tuning in for another live, but we did it anyway. So thank you guys all for joining us. I do appreciate the few jewels that somebody dropped off. Excuse me. Remember, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you know when we're doing our next live or when we drop our next great short or our great another great video. So, any final thoughts about either boxing today or MMA? Big Dog, I'm not really sure what your question is, but um, do hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We can always continue our conversation off another series of comments. All right, guys, and if you're enjoying the content, please consider going up and joining, or I'm not sure where the button is that says join. Thank you so much, E. Appreciate you. You rock too. Have a very good night, you guys. And don't forget, if you like Tenshin Nasukawa, he's fighting. It would be like 3 a.m. New York City time. I think it's 8:30 a.m. Monday morning in the UK in London. So if my UK friends, if you guys are at work by 8, maybe you can sneak and watch Tenshin Nasukawa's fight at 8:30. Me personally, I'm definitely not gonna live that one because it would be like just after midnight for me, and I got to get up early in the morning, so that's just not gonna work. I'm gonna have to hopefully catch the fight. Hopefully someone will post the whole tension fight on YouTube. Um, I'm guessing either Ryzen will do it, maybe maybe Top Rank has a deal with that. But in any case, that's just the next fight coming up on a weird day, which is Monday in Japan, sort of Sunday going into Monday for a lot of the rest of us. All right, you guys, thanks very much for joining me. See you the next time. Good night.